Every man has within him his own personal calling, a challenge that his soul urges him to take up, a desire to compete. Many people suppress this calling, but there are those who answer it and follow that desire. They are an uncommon breed, and you can see it in their faces. There is a look about anyone who must go higher, fall farther, run quicker, challenge the whims of the atmosphere, or drive a racing machine to its limits. It is sometimes a look of tension, sometimes of relaxation, but it is always a look of satisfaction, not of competing with other men, but coming to grips with an unknown challenge and succeeding. One of the greatest challenges in automobile racing is the Triple Crown. 3 500-mile races, one near the surf of the Pacific Ocean, Ontario, California. The second in the heart of the Corn Belt of America, Indianapolis, Indiana. And the third in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. No driver has ever won all 3. In 1974, Johnny Rutherford took 2 out of 3. In 1975, A.J. Foyt has his mind set on winning them all and adding a new page in the record book with an unprecedented 4th win at Indianapolis. While each designer has his own special theory on how to go faster, so do the fans have their opinions as to which driver and car combination will roll into victory lane. Speculation ends with the pronouncement of a simple sentence.
Mighty roar goes up. Among the 33 starters who are all gathered in the pit area.
Leading the field of 33 cars is A.J. Foyt of the number 14 Coyote. Next to him in the middle is 1974 Triple Crown champion Bobby Unser. And right alongside Bobby is his brother Al in car number 4. Many other top-flight drivers are in the field. Mario Andretti, Gordon Johncock, Wally Dallenbach, Roger McCluskey, Johnny Rutherford, Bill Vukovich, drivers who have proved their ability in racing and are fully capable of facing the challenge of 500 miles of tough competition. The green flag is out, and 33 cars roar down the main straightaway toward the first turn. Foyt is into the turn just ahead of Bobby Unser, and 31 other drivers maneuver through the corner at 180 miles an hour. Down the long backstretch, Foyt puts a lot of daylight between his car and second place Al Unser, who has passed brother Bobby. Out of the 4th turn, Foyt has already stretched his lead to over 100 yards. Bobby Allison, who seems to be trying to outdo Lloyd Ruby in the hard luck department, blows an engine on the first lap, and much to Roger Penske's disappointment, is out of competition. After only 17 miles of racing, Foyt has extended his lead to nearly a quarter of a lap. Bill Scott plays a thick smokescreen down the backstretch when his car blows its engine. Foyt makes his first pit stop on lap 25. His crew does a fast job of fueling and changing tires, but not fast enough. Bobby Unser moves into first place just after Brother Al drops out with a burned piston. Unser is able to maintain the lead for just 4 laps when he must pit and turn the lead back to A.J. Foyt. While Foyt and Unser are trading the lead on pit stops, a real battle is going on for third place between teammates Gordon Johncock and Wally Dallenbach. Gordon in the red number 20 and Wally in number 40 give the fans a real demonstration of what racing is all about. Show how a fast pit stop should be handled. Foyt is leading on lap 81, streaking past everything on the track. He is driving like he means to win. Foyt makes his next stop, and Johnny Rutherford, who has not made his third stop, goes in front. 3 laps later, the 1974 Indianapolis winner rolls into the pits, and there is trouble. The crew makes a frantic effort to locate the problem, but it is no use. With Rutherford sidelined, Bobby Unser takes over for 2 laps and then comes in for fuel and tires. Foyt regains the lead, but Unser is not going to let him out of sight. The Bignardi team has been cut to only 1 car, with Johncock out with mechanical problems. Dallenbach is still very much in contention when on the 184th lap his engine gives out on the backstretch. No accidents have marred the race in 2 spins, and the only incidents as the 200th lap draws near. Another year of braking safety along the USAC circuit with Raybestos brakes. 199 laps, and A.J. Foyt takes the white flag. He has led the race since the 89th lap. Out of the 4th turn and into the home stretch for the checkered flag from Shim Malone. The Gilmore Special rolls into the Big O victory lane, and A.J. Foyt is on his way to what could be a history-making season of racing. The Indianapolis 500 is the next stop in the Triple Crown, and Foyt will be trying for an unprecedented 4th win at the old Brickyard. The Indianapolis 500-mile race, 1975, a colorful and exciting pageant. And this year, something special. Peter DiPaolo celebrates his 50th anniversary of victory on the bricks in 1925. Pete drives the old number 5 Duesenberg around the oval to the cheers of 250,000 fans. Cars are rolled into position an hour before the start of the race. And while the drivers get a few minutes of relaxation, the crews stay busy making last-minute checks in the gleaming race cars. As the the time draws near, the drivers get ready to climb into the cars, and motion picture star James Garner, who will drive the pace car, walks down the pits wishing the drivers good luck and a safe race. Then the most exhilarating moment in racing is at hand.
Time is here. Time for the important and famous word from Mr. Pollo. Gentlemen, start your engine.
The pace car moves out, but only two of the front row cars follow. John Cock cannot get his engine started, and the field streams around the stalled car. As the last cars pass John Cock, his engine fires and he's moving. All 33 are underway. The crowd salutes the colorful field, and for the first time in history, the entire front row is made up of former Indianapolis winners. A.J. Foyt on the pole, Gordon John Cock in the middle, and Bobby Unser on the outside. The pace car pulls into the pits, and the field accelerates. The green flag is out, and it's a near perfect start. John Cock dives into the turn from the middle of the row and takes the lead. Foyt tucks in right behind him, and Bobby Unser is third. The field makes it through turns 1 and 2 without mishap. When John Cock crosses the start line for the first time, he has a good 100-yard lead over Foyt. Car to drop out of competition is number 7, driven by Lloyd Ruby. Murphy's Law has beaten the quiet Texan again. Lap 8, Foyt has closed the gap on John Cock. He pulls alongside on the main stretch and beats him into the first turn to take the lead. 3 laps later, John Cock goes slowly into the pits. Mechanical problems sideline him after only 7 laps of racing. Mario Andretti in the pits gestures to his crew that something is not working properly. He is refueled and started on his way, but stalls at the end of the pits. The crew sprints down to pull him back for a restart. But clutch problems keep him in the pits for over 14 minutes. Unhappy car owner Parnelli Jones watches, and dejected Andretti waits. Foyt has held on to the lead since lap 9, except for 2 laps led by Johnny Rutherford on Foyt's first pit stop. Mike Hiss loses control in the number 3 turn and slides into the wall. Mike is not injured, but the race is over for him. The yellow flag comes out while the track is cleared, and there's a rush for the pits. Foyt is in first, followed by Rutherford in the green number 2. A few seconds later, Unser in the number 3 position roars past Rutherford and into the pit. Wally Dallenbach in 4th is in a few seconds later. The first 4 positions are in at the same time. Is out first after a quick fueling and tire change. Rutherford moves out right behind him. As they roar back onto the track, Foyt makes a quick check in his mirror to see how close the number 2 car is. Third and fourth positions, Unser and Dallenbach, also move out at the same time. All 4 cars have had fast work by their pit crews, and they return to the race in the same order and almost the same interval. Foyt leading, Rutherford less than a half second behind, and Unser 5 seconds later. Rutherford presses Foyt for several laps, but moving up on both of them is Wally Dallenbach, carrying the Big Naughty colors for his sideline teammate, Gordon Johncock. The red number 40 passes Foyt on the 59th lap and takes the lead for the first time. Just 10 laps later, Foyt races wheel to wheel with Dallenbach down the backstretch and regains first position. He holds it for only 1 lap and then must make his 3rd pit stop. Johnny Rutherford also makes his 3rd pit stop, but Dallenbach stays out on the track, now back in the lead. Wally manages to hold the lead and hold off, making his 3rd pit stop until lap 95. Roger Penske's team of Tom Sneva in number 68 and Bobby Allison in number 16 are staying near the front of the pack. Sneva has consistently held onto the 5th spot in the race and is running smoothly. Allison has worked his way up from his 13th starting position to 7th. Both cars are running to Penske's satisfaction until lap 113, when Allison drops out with mechanical problems. Tom Sneva, the racing school teacher, is moving through traffic. Coming out of the number 1 turn, he moves under Rasmussen and tries to pass him in the number 2 turn. Slow motion reveals the details of the accident. Sneva touches wheels with Rasmussen, and his car is flipped into the air, smashing tail first into the fence in a ball of fire. The engine is ripped from the car and rolls across the track. The entire rear half of the car is sheared off, but miraculously, Sneva suffers only minor burns and is able to walk away from the violent crash. Parts from the demolished car spread clear across the track, forcing the other machines to detour through a portion of the grass while the debris is cleared away. The yellow light brings heavy traffic into the pits. All of the cars running in the front of the pack make fuel and tire stops. With over half the race behind them, the pit crews make careful checks of the remaining fuel. When all of the pit stops are sorted out, Wally Dallenbach again emerges as the front runner. Johnny Rutherford is close behind and Bobby Unser is 3rd. A.J. Foyt has dropped back to 4th place. Wally leads for 37 laps, and the smell of victory is getting stronger. Then, on lap 162, Dallenbach's hopes fade with a sick engine. Johnny Rutherford takes over, and Wally joins teammate Johncock beside the pit wall. Rutherford relinquishes the lead to Bobby Unser on lap 165 when he pits. With Unser in the lead, car owner Dan Gurney takes a look at the darkening skies over the speedway. Rain is not far away. Gary Bedenhausen loses a rear wheel on the main stretch, with the car handling like a bucking bronco. Gary skillfully keeps it headed straight, and finally maneuvers into the grass in the first turn to the approval of the crowd. His Raybestos disc brakes really helped pull him out of a serious situation. While the yellow light is on, the skies become even more ominous. On lap 174, the rain hits. The fans take to cover as the skies open into a torrential downpour. is so heavy that the cars slow to a snail's pace, and visibility is cut to a few hundred yards. The race cars throw speedboat-type rooster tails behind them as they go through the first turn. With the wide, slick racing tires, it is like driving on a sheet of ice. Billy Vukovich does a slow motion spin in the number 4 turn and slides tail first into the fence. Pat Vadan waves the red and checkered flags, ending the race. The winner of the rain-shortened 500 is Bobby Unser. He splashes through the pits to victory lane for the second time in his racing career. Johnny Rutherford takes the flag for second place at 35 miles an hour. A.J. Foyt finishes third and will have to wait another year to try for his 4th win at Indianapolis. A rain-soaked but happy Bobby Unser will take home the big share of the $1 million purse. Unser's win at Indianapolis and second at Ontario puts him in the lead for the Triple Crown. The Shaffer 500 at Pocono will determine the winner. The third and final leg of the Triple Crown of auto racing. Pocono, Pennsylvania, June 29th. It will be decided here today. Foyt must finish ahead of Bobby Unser to capture the crown. The front row for the Shaffer 500 is almost the same as at Indianapolis. Foyt and Johncock trading starting spots. Johncock on the pole and Foyt in the middle. Jerry Grant has replaced Bobby Unser on the outside. Heavy rains the night before have caused some seepage on the number 2 turn, and the start of the race has to be delayed. About the time the seepage problem is solved, a light shower dampens the track for another delay. Crews and drivers take cover under the tarps. The shower is short, and Wally Dallenbach appears long enough to say, "Welcome to the Pocono." After the showers pass, there is the short drivers meeting at the starting line, and Mr. Tony Holman pronounces those famous words. Three engines come to life, and the field begins to move behind the pace car. The pace car leads the field to the number 1 turn with veteran race driver Paul Russo at the wheel. Down the backstretch, the drivers scuff their tires for the start of the race. At the head of the main straightaway, the pace car pulls off, and the field moves to the start line. Shim Malone gives them the green flag, and they're on their way. First into the bank, the number 1 turn is pole sitter Gordon Johncock. The rest of the field makes it safely through the long turn and into the backstretch. The Pocono Raceway is a trioval, with each turn banked to a different angle, offering a different racing challenge. Coming through the 3rd turn, it is Johncock leading with Foyt second. Mario Andretti is 3rd and Wally Dallenbach 4th. Wally Dallenbach successfully pursues and passes Andretti. And the first 3 cars make a red streak around the race course. By lap 12, Johncock is running in traffic, and Foyt sticks close. On the main stretch, Foyt makes his move, but in the first turn, Johncock manages to hold him off. Next time around, the 2 cars are out of traffic, and Foyt squeezes past Johncock to take over. Down the backstretch, Foyt is flying past the other cars. On lap 24, Foyt comes into the pits. The crew quickly refuels number 14. Johncock and Dallenbach also pit, giving the lead to Mario Andretti. The race quickly develops into a battle of pit stops. At 30 laps, the first 10 cars are on the same lap. Steve Krizelov in car 10 takes the lead for just one lap. On lap 47, Billy Vukovich in number 6 takes over. Lap 51, and the Gilmore special is once again heading the field. Lap 62, Pancho Carter gets his chance and leads for 11 laps. Carter passes it to Johncock, and Carruthers collects the money for 4 laps before he pits and passes the ball to Jerry Grant. Grant only makes 2 laps when he begins to lay a smokescreen around the trioval. In the first half of the race, the lead is changed 12 times, and 8 different cars have taken lap prize money. The Penske team has had its share of bad luck. Sneva is in for an extended pit stop to repair a broken injector shaft, and Allison drops out with ignition trouble. Near the midpoint of the race, another shower sends the fans under cover and the pace car onto the track under the yellow. When the green comes out, that familiar number 14 is back leading the field, and Bobby Unser has fallen victim to a broken gearbox. Foyt is not all alone yet, however. Both of George Bignotti's red cars are following close behind. Dallenbach and Johncock have their own private battle for second place. By lap 139, the battle ends when Johncock loses control and slides into the wall in the second turn. For 70 laps, either Johncock or Dallenbach has held second place. And now Dallenbach carries the Bignotti colors on in that position. Koonsman blows an engine and coasts into the grass of the first turn. Koonsman's car is towed away, but the yellow stays on because a fire truck is stuck in the mud. The field runs behind the pace car for 8 laps, and when the green comes out, the dark clouds have once again gathered over the raceway. Foyt is still in the lead, and those clouds could have a silver lining for him. When the rain hits, it is no light shower, but a downpour, as hard as the rain that stopped the Indianapolis race, and almost on the same lap. The drivers go very carefully around the rain-slick track, and it is soon obvious to the officials that racing cannot continue safely. The red flag comes out for the second time in the Triple Crown, and the fans and crews provide themselves with whatever shelter is available. The winner, A.J. Foyt, takes 1 extra lap before pulling into victory lane. Wally Dallenbach, in number 40, has held on to second place, and Billy Vukovich is third. Anthony Joseph Foyt Jr. is the Triple Crown champion for 1975, with a first at Ontario, third at Indianapolis, first at Pocono. What a record. Foyt retains his reputation as the winningest driver in history, and Raybestos brakes on every car in every USAC championship race this year continue their winning tradition.